on the Missouri State Sports Network from Learfield. Welcome to Inside the Den with Coach Beard. Brought to you by Highland Dairy. Snack, fuel, go with Highland Dairy. Locally made, naturally delicious. Murney Associates, official realtor of the MSU Bears. Midwest Ford Dealers. Midwest Ford Dealers are driven by value. Official partner of the Missouri State Bears. Find your local Midwest Ford dealer at Ford.com. And by Big Shots Golf. Play on. Let's go! Now, here's your host, the new voice of the Bears, Corey Riggs.
We're back. That week off felt weird. It was definitely a good time for everybody to rest and relax and get ready as Missouri State football continues on now into Weekday CUSA play. We welcome you here to Big Shots Golf. I am Corey Riggs, thrilled to be joined by the head coach of the Bears, Ryan Beard. And Coach, it's the timing now is so different with what's been going on with the change in schedule and everything. But it's been a while since that Western Kentucky game, but we're going to go ahead and rehash that one in our Mercy Weekly Recap. Mercy, your life is our life's work. And taking everybody back through that game, it definitely did not have the start that I anticipated in that game. To see a scoreless first quarter go by and to kind of be a defensive start to that game, when really what we eventually got to was what I thought would play out as a lot of offense, and there was plenty of that late, but definitely a defensive struggle between the two teams in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was a competitive football game the whole 60 minutes. In the beginning, it was, like you said, there were some 3-and-outs for both sides of the ball, inability to move the ball for us and them, really. And then kind of everyone settled in, got some movement going in that second quarter. Obviously, you would have liked to have gotten more points at times in the first half, especially the field goal with zero time left, knowing we get the ball back. I think that would have been tremendously impactful moving forward. But again, we were able to come out in the second half, do some good things. Jacob took the injury. Deuce came in. I'm sure we'll discuss that at length here shortly. Just couldn't make the big plays when we needed it most. The one thing I'm most proud of our football team is the fact that they didn't flinch. There were points in the game where it could have got away from us. We could have bowed out, stopped fighting, and stopped competing to win the game, and they didn't do that. That's not who this group is, and I think there's a lot to build on with that.
Well, I mean, this ended up being a one-score game, 27-22. We'll go through it kind of score by score, but there were multiple opportunities in that game where there were scores that were on the board momentarily that got taken away. Again, with as good as the ball moved with Jacob and then eventually with Deuce, penalties still ended up being something that stopped drives for the Bears last week.
Yeah, 100%. And we talked about that at length during the bye week of when you're playing, that's the type of competition that we were playing with Western Kentucky, who is, you would say, the standard of the conference. Mm-hmm. You have to perform as close to optimally as possible, meaning you have to play clean football. You have to take advantages of what they give you. When you have a chance to get into the red zone, you got to score points. Defensively, you've got to force field goals in the red zone. All those types of things work together, and I think we were able to learn a lot from that football game about our football team and the kind of resolve we have moving forward.
So when you look at the scoring in this one, Yusuf Obeid, a 3-field-goal game, 49, 22, and 19 yards. And then the ground game got going later. Another big chunk play touchdown for Shamari Lawrence. He had a 50-yarder the game prior. This time he goes 32 yards to the house for you.
Yeah, he's got great bursts. He's got good vision. Once he hits the second level, he's hard to bring down. And that's what we got to continue to do. You'll hear from Big E later along with Bird. But the one thing the offensive line does is man, they've really got a mindset about them that we're going to try to run the football, establish that run game to open some things up for Deuce.
Shamari Lawrence, 16 carries, 78 yards. He's led the Bears in rushing every game this year. The touchdown averaged almost 5 yards a carry. So yeah, you get that one on the board at that point in time. It's a 1-point game. It's actually at that point in time, the Bears jump in front then 16-10. And then you get late in the second quarter and then the injury comes. And I think there was definitely a lot of confusion in that moment. I talked to Coach Petrino about it on the podcast last week. And, in real time, I I don't want to say angry, but agitated. I thought there should have been a review. I thought Jacob had been hit in the head. I thought it looked like there should be a targeting call. Then come to find out, after the fact, it ends up being a different type of injury. What was it like in real time down there for you all, and how much time did you have to make the decision to go with Deuce?
Yeah, I think it was a lot of the same, Corey. Obviously, when he took the hit to the head, I have a responsibility as the head football coach to be an advocate for our football team and our players and their safety and wellness. I must not know what head-to-head contact the rule is, because, again, I'm human, so maybe I saw it wrong. But when you see his head snap back from a guy diving into him from inside the pylon, I made my voice known, and I made sure that they understood how I felt about the call and the way the game was officiated. But we had to move on. we had to move on quickly, and because there, and another reason that I was talking to the white hat for a good length of time is it was 4th and 2. They stopped us at 4th and 2. You get the flag, or whatever shakes out. You're 1st and 10 on the 1. It was a critical moment in the football game, and you're sitting there at 4th and 2, and I'm going to put you in the head coach's seat for a second. And you go, well, Jacob's off the field. Everybody's eyes are wide and bright. It's a good time to just get points, because talk about a momentum swing. You try to put a young man taking his first snap ever in the game, and you get stuffed. It's not advantageous for the rest of the game moving forward. You have to think about the young man you're about to put in the game.
Sure.
And his momentum and how we can feed off him as a team. We made the right decision to take the points there. And then, again, Deuce never looked back. It was one of those things, Corey, and there's been conversation about, who was the backup, what went into that. When you look at a backup quarterback, there's never really a true 2 or 3. I think Deuce and Cole do a phenomenal job in their own respect. I think they've done well in practice. It's just that Deuce has done a little better at times, and we felt like he gives us a little bit of an edge to be more competitive and win the game. And so that's the route we went.
Well, and you and I've talked about it. Toledo, that had the one win over Western Kentucky, had featured a mobile quarterback. That really gave Western Kentucky problems. So it just it definitely made sense to give a guy, especially if you hadn't seen Deuce Bailey play before. Once you see him play, you realize to call him slippery is an understatement. He's almost impossible to pin down to the backfield.
He is. He's elusive. He does a nice job seeing pressure and being able to move around the pocket. Now, we worked in this bye week of just being able to give him a set of progressions, because it's different talking with Nick, talking to Jacob on the headset.
Sure.
And you've got to talk to an 18-year-old kid that's taking his first real college snaps in a real game. So we've worked on that this week, which should be good to go. And we feel good moving forward, regardless of who comes out first.
Well, and I liked the comments that Coach Petrino made as well, talking about knowing now if you're going with Deuce and the ability to use that green dot, to use that communication, that he can still talk up to 15 seconds on the play clock and walk a young quarterback through his progressions, through his reads, tell him what he's seeing. That makes a huge difference, and it's definitely something you don't want to leave on the table. You got to take advantage.
100%. Your process has to change overall. You have to do things that fit your personnel and do best with what you got. And again, that's what we're going to do moving forward, be able to communicate with Deuce, let him see some different types of things, and kind of go from there.
Were you surprised at how effective Western Kentucky was on running the football? I mean, everybody we build this as kind of a quarterback duel between Jacob and Maverick MacGyver, but it ended up being really Lavelle Wright with 2 touchdowns late in that game in the second half that ended up being the difference.
Yeah, they got creative schematically, did some good things that gave us a few troubles on some big runs, and it really came down to the 2 explosive runs. You'd sit there and say they were super effective running the ball. They were at times, but again, that's when you can't give up the chunk yardage plays. Me and you talk all the time in our pregame conversations of the big runs for scores are just what you cannot give up. You got to be able to get the guy down, take good pursuit angles, and make sure you can play another down.
Meanwhile, defensively, you got the second ever double-digit tackle performance out of Kanye Young, one of your defensive captains. Second time in his career, he finishes with 10 total tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and a sack. I felt like it was one of those games where every time the Bears were on defense, as I was looking to the end of the play, I was saying his name.
Yeah, he's been all over the place. He's done a really nice job. And the thing about Kanye that you see, we were talking to one of the scouts today at practice, and just it's funny you brought that up. He can do a lot of different things. He can rush the passer from the edge or interior. He can fit runs. He can drop into coverage. He does a really nice job, and he's comfortable in the defense now. I think that's why he's taken such a big step forward, is his comfort level and his ability to put himself in position to make plays.
Time now for our Bud Light play of the game. Bud Light, a proud sponsor of Missouri State Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We head to the fourth quarter for this one, when Missouri State's offense needed to make it a one-score game, and it was a freshman-to-freshman combination that would get the Bears close.
Third and goal now. The line of scrimmage, the 9. Fade to the corner, one-handed catch. Tristan Gardner. Touchdown, Bears! Bailey with a beautiful corner fade, and the true freshman to true freshman connection pays off for Mo State.
Missouri State would get the score to 27-22 at that point. That would be the final score in the game, but definitely kind of a bright spot to end on, even though the result wasn't what you were looking for, when you see two young players combining on a late scoring drive when you really needed one.
100%. I mean, that's what you see from kind of how we're building this thing right now. Hats off to our staff. We've got some elite recruiters on staff that understand that, you know, what it takes is building real relationships, telling people the truth, being straightforward and honest, and then making them feel good and feel loved when they're in the walls of our building, making sure that they understand that we have, you know, their best in mind, and that we lead with love, man.
All right, well, we're going to take our first break. If you cannot be with us in Murfreesboro Wednesday night, which sounds really weird to say, but that's true, Wednesday night, please tune in on the Missouri State Radio Network. Pre-game show will be at 6 o'clock, kickoff at 6:30. You can listen throughout the Ozarks on Real Country 101.3 FM, the Varsity Network app on your phone, or the Missouri State Radio Network affiliate in your area. If you don't know which one it is, go to MissouriStateBears.com for a list of network affiliates. When we come back, we'll head under the helmet for our great Southern Bank player segments. You're listening to Inside the Den with Coach Beard on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield.
It's time for the annual Team Impact All-In 5K. Join Team Impact on October 19th and help support their mission to create a world where every child facing serious illness and disability feels supported by something bigger, and every collegiate team is transformed by a greater purpose. Remember, there's no wrong way to 5K. Run, walk, or roll a 5K in your neighborhood, at your local college campus, or join one of Team Impact's hub locations. Join the movement to get all kids in the game. Team Impact, all in, all together. Learn more at teamimpact.org/all-in5K.
Are you ready to level up your hangout and live the unexpected? Big Shots Golf is changing the entertainment game through tech-driven golf games that fit every level of player, a mouth-watering scratch menu, and handmade cocktails. At Big Shots Golf, we're all about celebrating life and creating memories with the ones you love. Located at the corner of North Glenstone and Kearney, Big Shots Golf proudly hosts MSU's weekly coaches show, and with NFL Sunday Ticket, you'll never miss a game. Ready to take your big shot? Book your heated bay online today at BigShotsGolf.com. Play on.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Hey, college football fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's 6:30 and the branch is closed.
Yep.
And you couldn't find your debit card.
Nope.
But you're going to get cash.
Yep. Cadence Bank Live Teller has extended hours, and I can get cash from my account with my driver's license.
My bank can't do that.
Nope.
With over 300 live teller locations with extended hours, there's opportunity here. Find a live teller near you at cadencebank.com/live teller. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Football's back. Coach Beard and the Bears are ready to charge into Conference USA. Jeff Gervillius from your Missouri State Bookstore, your go-to spot for all things bear wear and tailgating. We've got the latest gear for game day, including official athletic apparel from Adidas. Whether you're shopping for Bear Cubs or proud alumni, we've got something for the whole family. Stop by the bookstore, check out one of our 5 stadium locations on game day, or shop anytime at shop.MissouriStateBookstore.com. Your Missouri State Bookstore, a proud sponsor of Missouri State Athletics. Go Bears!
We are back here at Big Shots Golf tonight inside the den on Springfield's north side. Our show tonight is brought to you by Kohl's. Kohl's has the back-to-school styles that spoil your family at prices that'll spoil you, from jeans and tees to sneakers and more, which means you can do it all without overdoing your budget when you shop at Kohl's and Kohls.com. Time now for our first of 2 Great Southern Bank Under the Helmet features, as tonight we talked to one of the Bears linebackers, the man they call Bird. Jared Lloyd joins us on the show tonight. Birdman, how are we feeling?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I say excited to see what will be the first Missouri State football game on a Wednesday night, apparently since World War II. So it's been a minute since the Bears have played on a Wednesday night. How has preparation been for you guys this week? Because everything's kind of shifted. I assume it's similar, but you're doing the usual stuff, but on different days, right?
It's all still the same. Preparation still the same. The only thing different now is I don't get to enjoy my weekends. We practice on Saturdays and Sundays now, so.
Yeah, I noticed. I happened to drive by the stadium on Sunday. I had been working with the ESPN crew, women's college soccer on Sunday afternoon, and happened to pull by and saw that everybody was out on the field. So not a chance to really put your feet up and watch some NFL on Sunday.
No, sir. We working. We getting better.
Well, that's a good thing. Now, if you've normally got a Sunday off and you get to watch games, who's your team?
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Now, you're a Florida guy, right?
Florida guy, yes, sir.
So how does Florida guy get to be a Seahawk fan?
The LOB, Legion of Boom. I was a Seahawks fan back when they had Marshawn Lynch and Russell Wilson and all them.
Absolutely. That was a good time to be a fan. It's a little bit harder to be a fan the last couple of years.
Yes, sir, but I'm not a bandwagon, so I can't switch my team.
No, absolutely not. I respect that. And you're one of those guys, Coach and I were talking about it before the show started. You're kind of on a short list of Bears right now, because you are part of a crew that was kind of the original group of guys that Coach Beard, Coach Petrino and stuff brought into the program their first year, and you never been in the portal, never gone anywhere else. You've been a Bear this whole time. What's kind of helped you to stick here? Why have you wanted to stay here in Springfield this whole time?
Well, it feels like home here, and I feel like there's no reason for me to transfer, especially when I have a great connection with Coach Beard and other coaches on the coaching staff. So there's no need to jeopardize that and hop in the portal, and I play. That's the biggest thing is playing.
Well, and people may not remember this, but even though you've been on the team for a few years now, you didn't get to play last year.
No, sir.
I say you had an accident, an automobile accident, and were away from the game. What was that season like for you?
It wasn't too bad. It was more of a mentoring and growing up type of year off more than anything. I didn't get too frustrated. Sitting out. All honesty, it was good for me. To be honest with you, it was real good for me sitting out that year and just slowing the game down mentally, watching a lot of film and helping out the young guys with the game. So when I did come back, the game was real slow to me.
Well, I say that's a big part of the maturation is when the game slows down. How do you, I've seen you at practice, and I was fascinated with this because you're one of those guys that freely admits what's great about football and what's great about defense is you legally get to go out and hit people really hard. You enjoy the violent, physical part of the game of football, right?
Yes, sir.
But you are so attentive to your teammates. I remember being at practice earlier when it was really hot, and you would walk up and down the sideline. You're out on the field tearing it up. Then when you get a chance to take a break, you didn't take a break. You're going up and down the sideline asking guys, hey, have you drank enough water? Here's some more water. Take some more water. And then checking in on guys up and down the sideline. Are they okay? Have you always been that kind of teammate, or is that something that maybe changed in that last year with you out injured?
It definitely changed with being out for a year. Like I said, I just grew up as a person, as a man, so you just got to lead in a sense, if that makes sense. You just got to lead the guys the right way and make sure there's drinking water, make sure we're communicating on and off the field about football, so when we do step on the field together, there's no confusion or anything of such sort.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. But definitely you seem to have that mentality of that sort of servant leadership where you're trying to take care of the guys, but you also let your actions on the field do a lot of the talking. You flat get after it. Now, I talked about Kanye having 10 tackles. Don't take anything away from Bird. He had 8 tackles, 4 assisted, 4 solo in that last game. What do you feel like has really improved in your game this year? What have you been working hard on?
All honesty, my pass coverage. That was I know I could stop the run. I could stop the run with my eyes closed, but being able to stay on the field on long third downs and getting in passing lanes so we could get cover sacks has just been the biggest focus for me this offseason, and I try to focus on it week by week.
We're talking to Missouri State linebacker Jared Lloyd, otherwise known as Bird, here at the Great Southern Bank Under the Helmet feature. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters, member FDIC. The start of this season, I've asked a lot of guys about this, but I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it. When you committed to come to Missouri State, what was your first year on campus? Was it 22?
2022, yes, sir.
Did you ever think that games at USC, games at Marshall, hosting SMU, did you think that those were games that you were going to be playing in on this roster?
Yes, sir. Well, honestly, yes, sir. My first college game ever was when we went to Arkansas.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a real good one.
Yeah, so I expected it. Definitely with the trajectory of the team year by year, I knew that we were going to make the change at some point in time, whether I was here or not. I just knew the change was going to come.
So if say you've always been kind of looking to that, then how does the reality feel now that you're here, knowing that you got to walk out and show what you could do at the LA Memorial Coliseum, you get the win at Marshall, and now you're into these crazy Wednesday night games in CUSA. Does it live up to the hype that you kind of built up in your head?
If you want the God's honest truth, football is football. That's the answer I give everybody, whether we playing against Bama, whether we playing against Kennesaw State, Middle Tennessee, football is football at the end of the day. So that's just my biggest biggest focus. I don't try to play the name across from me. I try to play the man across from me, if that makes sense.
It does, but I remember at the press availability last Friday, you made a comment about whether it's 70,000, whether it's 7,000 or whether it's 7, you don't really see the fans, that sort of thing. Your focus is that sharp that all of that kind of just fades away when you're playing?
Yes, sir. When you step between the white lines, everything's quiet. You're just playing football at that point. You don't hear the fans. You don't hear all the extra chatter and all that. You just play football. So it doesn't matter if I'm playing against in front of 1 million people, if I'm playing against one person, 10 people, I'm just going to play football.
Well, I say that requires a level of focus that I don't know that I've ever been gifted with. I don't know that I'm that focused. I am curious about one thing, though, the ability to communicate in the game. So we've seen the gambit so far. There might be 5,000, 6,000 people at Middle Tennessee. There's been 50,000, 60,000 out in L.A. How hard is it to be able to hear and communicate with your teammates, with your sideline, as far as staying involved and staying locked in the course of a game, in the course of a defensive series for you?
I talk to Coach Beard. He talks to me through the headset, and I just cover up my ears and listen to him. And I hit one of those, yes, sir. I hit one of those and listen to what he has to tell me and communicate with my teammates.
So now you guys didn't have that technology last year. You've got it now. Is it better? Is it different? How has it changed the way you play the game, or has it changed anything for you?
The biggest change is I could just identify formations quicker because I'm not looking to the sideline for a signal. I hear what he tells me. I relay to my teammates, and I get to put my cleats in the dirt and line up and play football quicker than just looking for a signal. That's the only real change from it.
So what are you looking forward to this Wednesday night with Middle Tennessee? What's the focus for going and taking on the Blue Raiders?
A good team win. It's as simple as that. Come out with the W.
I like the sound of that. I like the way Jared thinks, and I think we'll definitely try and enjoy a Missouri State win on Wednesday night over in Murfreesboro. This is Bird, Jared Lloyd, the Missouri State linebacker, joining us here tonight on Inside the Den. Put your hands together for him. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll switch from defense to offense and talk to Big E. You're listening to Inside the Den on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability. Nice. Making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Are you ready to level up your hangout and live the unexpected? Big Shots Golf is changing the entertainment game through tech-driven golf games that fit every level of player, a mouth-watering scratch menu, and handmade cocktails. At Big Shots Golf, we're all about celebrating life and creating memories with the ones you love. Located at the corner of North Windstone and Kearney, Big Shots Golf proudly hosts MSU's weekly coaches show, and with NFL Sunday Ticket, you'll never miss a game. Ready to take your big shot? Book your heated bay online today at BigShotsGolf.com. Play on.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletic season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACDA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Every day, you're out there, up before the sun, and pushing forward before the chaos of the day settles in. At Great Southern, we're right there with you because we understand the need for trusted support. Having a team that is seasoned, agile, ready, an award-winning team that knows their customers personally and is behind them at every step. There to assist you, inspire you, and echo your inner dialogue in those quiet moments. Keep going. Whether you're getting ready to meet the day or working on something big, we're your team. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters. Member FDIC.
At Parkcrest Dental Group, we've been proudly serving the community for over 50 years by creating healthy, confident smiles that last a lifetime. From general dentistry to pediatric care, orthodontics, and more, we make it easy for the whole family to get the care they need, all in one convenient location. Whether it's your child's first visit or you're ready to restore your own smile with dental implants, we're here to help you maintain confident smiles. Trust the team that's been keeping Springfield smiling for generations. And go Bears!
Wilson Logistics is proud to be the official logistics partner of Missouri State Athletics. You'll see us on the road this year, hauling the Bears football equipment and supporting all Missouri State athletes. Wilson Logistics is a family-owned company based right here in Springfield, Missouri. We offer a paid CDL training program for those that want to become a professional truck driver. Learn more at wilsonlogistics.com/training.
Back to work here at Inside the Den on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield. Tonight's show brought to you by Wilson Logistics. Wilson Logistics is the official logistics partner of Missouri State Athletics. And in case of the Missouri State football team, they help move the Bears from coast to coast, including this week's road trip to the Volunteer State. Time now for our second of two Great Southern Bank Under the Helmet features as we now go to the other side of the ball and talk to one of the Bears' offensive linemen, as we get to meet Big E, Erick Cade, on the show with us here tonight. Erick, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing great. I was like, have you, the nickname Big E, how long have people called you that?
Since 8th grade.
Since 8th grade?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
You were my son's favorite player specifically because of your nickname and how big you are, because he is a diehard WWE fan. And Big E is a member of the New Day, and he loves those guys. So that's a big home run in my family when I can get a professional wrestling reference worked in. But tell me a little bit about how you got started in football. Was it a game that you came to early in life, late in life? When did you start your football journey?
Extremely early. I started playing tackle football 3rd grade, 4th grade. I pretty much played it off and on my entire life until I got to middle school, and then middle school it was a yearly thing. You have your seasons, you play, and since then, it was just, yearly thing.
And you were, you grew up, is it Little Elm, Texas?
So I moved there? Yeah, I moved there. I grew up in Texas till about 7th grade, and then I moved to Texas 8th grade through high school.
All right. I would say everybody always makes a deal. I would say we've had Jacob Clark on. We've had different guys on the team on that grew up and played high school football down there. It's just different down there. I mean, they've got stadiums that are bigger than some of the college stadiums we've been to with the Bears.
Yes, definitely. Playing at Allen Stadium or Toyota Stadium where the Cowboys practice sometimes. Playing at that stadium was really, really fun.
Well, talk to me a little bit about the move to college football then, what your recruitment was like coming out of high school. Obviously, you've been a big guy for a long time. How does the recruitment maybe differ for an offensive lineman? Because it's hard to find the big, strong guys. It's a commodity to have guys that can line up on the line of scrimmage like you.
Definitely. I was the second highest recruit for offensive tackles in Texas my year, and after my freshman year of high school, I got my first offer to Arkansas, and since then it was just offer after offer after offer after offer. It just kept piling in, and by the time I was done, I was close to the 40.
Jeez. So what made then where you ended up starting your career? You select Ole Miss. What made Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss stand out, other than the fact that Lane Kiffin is quite a character?
Well, it was my head coach. I really trusted him. He put me in a great situation when I was coming up. So, I trusted him and listened to what he was saying. He modeled his playbook off of what they were running. So it was supposed to be easier fit. And what I wanted to do at the time was business, and their business school was big. And when I went down there, I liked the sights. I liked what I saw, and I liked the people that I was going to be with, the O-line coach, the GAs, the other O-linemen there. It really felt like home when I was down there.
So you end up spending about 2 seasons there, and then you end up getting into the portal. Who was your first contact at Missouri State? How did you make your way from Oxford to Springfield?
Well, my first contact was Jacob.
Really?
He was the one that reached out to me first, and then I think it was Coach Fishback, and then it was Coach Halp, and then it was Coach Beard. It kind of went that way.
Now, did you and Jacob cross paths in high school? How to say? I didn't know that quarterbacks recruit their own tackles, but it seems like it would make sense. I would want to know who's protecting my blind side.
Yeah, he went to there's 2 rock walls in Texas, and he went to the one that I didn't play. But Lance, our old tight end, he went to the one that I did play.
Okay,
and we smashed him. Yeah, definitely.
So you end up in Springfield. Now, this year you've been starting at right tackle. Last year you were at left tackle. Is there how much of a swing? How different is the responsibilities being on one end of the line versus the other when you're talking about having a quarterback like Jacob Clark lining up behind you?
I mean, it really didn't change much in terms of my mindset. It allowed me to really pour all of my mental effort and all of my physical effort in terms of, reading what's going on this side of the field. This linebacker comes down. We gotta make a call to switch out of and protect him. And being on that left side is a big job, but it's just as big as the right side.
Your room, the offensive line room, got hit with injury early. Hudson Lillibridge went down preseason. He's a big part of what you guys have been doing the last year. He goes down. Then Christian Loaiza goes down here in season. How important is it for you guys up front to be versatile? I don't think people think a whole lot about playing on the left side versus the right side, tackle versus guard, but it's definitely something that's beneficial when you end up in a season and then start seeing teammates succumb to injury.
Mm-hmm. Well, being versatile is huge for an O-lineman. Being able to show that you can play at guard or tackle or even center. If you can play all three, then you're a huge asset to any team, no matter what team that is. If it's high school, college, NFL, no matter what team you're on, if you can play all the positions on the O-line, that's huge.
Have you always been a tackle, or have you played all three spots over the course of your career, going all the way back to high school?
So, I've been a tackle the majority of the time. I went to Ole Miss and was a guard. And then I played around at center, but that's not me.
That's not you. You let Cash handle the center stuff?
Yeah, I let Cash handle that. That's not really my bag.
Talking to Erick Cade here in the Great Southern Bank Under the Helmet segment. Our show this week brought to you by the Doubletree by Hilton Springfield, located at Glenstone and Kearney, where a warm cookie always awaits your arrival. So fast forward now to the start of this season. Has it been kind of what you expected to this point, or what have you been specifically trying to look for as the season has rolled on here for the Bears?
I mean, it's not what I expected, but I still think that we're in a good position. I feel like even though we've lost a couple of games that we definitely could have won, I still feel like we've started to prove to not just ourselves, but Conference USA that we're not a team to take lightly at all.
No, and I think you're going to have another opportunity to possibly showcase that here in a couple of nights in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, when you take on the Blue Raiders. But, man, appreciate you coming on the show and doing this, and good luck on Wednesday night, all right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Erick Cade joining us here on the show. You're listening to Inside the Den with Coach Beard on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Are you ready to level up your hangout and live the unexpected? Big Shots Golf is changing the entertainment game through tech-driven golf games that fit every level of player, a mouth-watering scratch menu, and handmade cocktails. At Big Shots Golf, we're all about celebrating life and creating memories with the ones you love. Located at the corner of North Glenstone and Kearney, Big Shots Golf proudly hosts MSU's weekly coaches show, and with NFL Sunday Ticket, you'll never miss a game. Ready to take your big shot? Book your heated bay online today at BigShotsGolf.com. Play on.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids facing unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness and disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Join us in the movement to get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org to learn more. Team Impact. All in, all together.
Hey, college football fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Parkcrest Dental Group is a proud sponsor of Missouri State Athletics. We believe great smiles build confidence, whether you're on the field, in the stands, or around town. Our team makes it easy for athletes and families alike to keep their smiles strong and healthy with comprehensive dental care and service through every stage of life. We're honored to continue to support our community and our athletes. Go Bears!
It's 6:30 and the branch is closed.
Yep.
And you couldn't find your debit card.
Nope.
But you're going to get cash.
Yep. Cadence Bank Live Teller has extended hours, and I can get cash from my account with my driver's license.
My bank can't do that.
Nope.
With over 300 live teller locations with extended hours, there's opportunity here. Find a live teller near you at cadencebank.com/live teller. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Don't forget, everybody, your Missouri State Bears are on the road for most of the month of October, but the Bears will be back again on Wednesday night, October 29th at Plaster Stadium to take on the FIU Panthers in their weekday CUSA matchup. Kickoff set for 7 o'clock. It will be Ag Day. It will be $2 hot dog day, and there will be a halftime drone show, so get your tickets now. They're available online at MissouriStateBears.com/tickets. Back here on Inside the Den, head coach Ryan Beard rejoins us. Coach, did you get the headset to fit back on you? Because after Erick was up here, it's in a little bit different shape than when you're wearing it.
I did. I know Big E's sitting back there, but goodness gracious, my man. I'm glad they make helmets that big.
See, it's good that the headsets are adjustable. They fit all sides of heads. But the man wears size 18 shoes. It shouldn't surprise you that he might have stretched out the headset a little bit.
He is a gigantic man, but his size means nothing with compared to how big his heart is. He's one of the sweetest dudes there is. Even both of those guys. I mean, when you sit there and you talk about, I like how we kind of group the guys we bring. And these two guys, the most proud I am of them is their leadership role they've taken on. Bird came in as a knucklehead freshman like I was myself as a player. Really good football player, has developed into a true leader. Guys look to him and you know, they listen to him. No one knows the defense better than Bird does, and it's incredible watching how he moves now compared to when he first got here. And he's making plays, man. I know he went through that accident. Who knows, you know, what was going to happen, and he's shown us what he's got. And then Big E, he gets the team cranked up before each practice. He's the heart and soul, you know, of the offensive line, which is what we need. So I hope they'll keep doing what they're doing.
I say they've both been major contributors to the success that the Bears have enjoyed last year and into this year. Take you through now the Parkcrest Dental scoreboard, and we are into whether you want to call it the silly season, the CUSA weekday season, whatever it is, but games on Thursday, Friday, Saturday last week. New Mexico State is the Bears' next opponent after this Wednesday night. Of course, that's a couple of weeks away, but New Mexico State had no problem handling the Bearcats of Sam Houston, with the Aggies getting the win 37-10 there in New Mexico in Las Cruces. Meanwhile, the Bears' most recent opponent, Western Kentucky, because we've had some time off, has already played another game, Coach. They played the other newest member of the league, Delaware, and it took till the final quarter for that one to be decided, with Western Kentucky eking out a 27-24 win.
That was a similar football game. I don't know how much you watched of that, but Delaware jumped out to a good lead. Western Kentucky fought back. Delaware missed some field goals that put them behind the 8-ball, and Western, again, when we talk about it as a team all the time, you got to be open and honest about where you're at as a program. Great teams find a way to win, and that's what Western Kentucky's doing right now, and that's what we'll do soon.
Yeah, it took a 17-0 third quarter for them to get back into that game. They had dug themselves a hole against Delaware. Delaware now 1-1 in CUSA play. Western Kentucky sits atop the league standings at a perfect 3-0 so far. Then the one Saturday game last week that involved a CUSA team was a late non-conference game, and that was FIU, who will be here on October 29th, taking on UConn. And UConn, got the better of the Panthers 51-10 in that one. Kind of surprising to see a non-conference game that late in the schedule.
Wow, it is. It's it's interesting how the schedules are so set up now because, like you said, some guys get them in really early. Some guys do the late big Power 4 money game. It's all changing.
That's your Parkcrest Dental scoreboard for over 50 years, putting smiles on your family, friends, and neighbors here in Springfield. Time now for our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks questions from the crowd tonight. How about this one? What was the last TV show you binge watched?
Fans are going to love this one. Love is Blind.
Man, if you had given me 10 guesses, I would not have gotten there. All right. Now, was that when you and Katie?
Yeah, me and the missus get to hang out, relax, watch some TV. It's an interesting show. You know, I like to watch stuff when I'm just laying down that I don't even have to think about. So
Sure.
it's pretty mindless. You know, she'll tap me every now and then. Oh my gosh, you know, this is happening. I'm like, yeah, for sure.
I can't believe it either.
Yeah, I can't believe that's happening. You know,
it's really hard to see that show through your eyelids, but
my
you can do it.
favorite show to binge watch, and I've watched it over a few times, is Peaky Blinders.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, tremendous show.
I'm with you on that one. How about do you have a favorite family tradition? So whether it be holiday related or not, and whether it's your family back home in Bowling Green or you and Katie and the kids, do you have a favorite family tradition?
I guess I do. So when we're sitting around after we bless the food at dinner, we do highs and lows of the day. And when I'm fortunate enough to be home for dinner, I get to hear my kids' highs and lows of the day, and it creates conversation around our dinner table. And no phones are allowed, no toys, no games, and it's a chance for us to reconnect and kind of move forward. So I know that's a small one to most people, but it's important to me.
No, that's a big one. I say you get to a point in your life eventually where I am now, and you don't have the kids at the table with you anymore, and you realize how much fun that was trying to generate conversations and topics to keep them engaged. So that's a good one. I like that. So I wrote this one down earlier. I hadn't thought about this before, but I'm curious what your thought is. So of all the coaches and staff that work with you at Missouri State, who would you least like to trade jobs with? Now, I know you're the head coach, and that's the job that you want. You've worked for your whole life to get here. But who has the job that you absolutely, positively would not touch with a 10-foot pole?
Wow, what a question. I'm terrible at computers and Excel sheets and all those different types of things that are really important logistically. So I would say my main man, Max Franey. I think that because here's the other side of that coin that no one looks at is when they can't find me, Max gets all the bad stuff. Yeah. You know, it's like, hey, should I tell Coach Beard this? And so they run it through Max.
You get Max's temperature before bringing it to you.
And that's an even worse part of the job. You know, so it would have to be Max Franey for sure.
Yeah, when I was writing that one down earlier,
that's a great question.
I wondered if that would be your answer, because I kind of thought there is no way I would want Max's job. There's just way too many moving parts, and I am not well organized enough to have that job.
That, or there's one more you probably need to talk about. Andrew Chaney would be a brutal one too. When you have to deliver news to position coaches and head coaches of things you don't always agree on in regards to injury, that would be miserable too.
Yeah, and you've got to have a really good relationship with that. Considering what we've seen in the last couple of weeks, you've got to have a really good relationship with Andrew, with Mitch, with all the athletic training people, because it is a very volatile situation, and the news they're giving you isn't always what you want to hear.
Yeah, we've worked together really, really well. Our players trust them. We trust them as a staff, and we've got great working relationship as well as a personal relationship, and those guys are top-notch.
Those are your Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks fan questions. Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, stopping your local Chevy dealer today. We're going to take one more break. When we come back, we will turn our attention to Middle Tennessee State and the Blue Raiders as they are next up on the Bears schedule. You're listening to Inside the Den with Coach Ryan Beard on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability, making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the top college athletic programs for the 2025-26 college athletic season? Check out the criteria and follow the year-long standings of your favorite team at L Directors Cup on the X platform or online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2026 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. The Learfield Directors Cup, powered by NACDA, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Wait months to see a doctor? No one's a fan of that. At Mercy, we can't wait to see you. Our doctors have timely appointments available in your area. Just go to mercy.net/score. View all the doctors with upcoming office and video visits available. Then choose the visit type, date, and time that work for you. Visit mercy.net/score. Mercy. Browse, book, be seen.
Wilson Logistics is proud to be the official logistics partner of Missouri State Athletics. You'll see us on the road this year, hauling the Bears football equipment and supporting all Missouri State athletes. Wilson Logistics is a family-owned company based right here in Springfield, Missouri. We offer a paid CDL training program for those that want to become a professional truck driver. Learn more at wilsonlogistics.com/training.
Welcome back one final time to Inside the Den, here with Coach Ryan Beard every week on location at Big Shots Golf. Big Shots Golf is proud to be your entertainment destination for a tech-driven golf and elevated food and beverage experience. You can join the E-Club to receive special promos at bigshotsgolf.com. Select the Springfield location, play on. So we're going to talk about Middle Tennessee and the Blue Raiders and the rough start that they've had to their season. But you just got an important highlight sent to you. Do we have an update from flag football?
Yeah, Bo Beard had his first catch for about 30-yard reception. So we're looking good on the evening. Looking good. Come on, baby.
Now, does defensive back Dad, is he okay if Bo wants to be wide receiver?
Hey, Dad is Dad. Dad wants everybody to play hard, have fun, and the coach is coach. I just sit out there, hang out, relax. Now, if it's my choice, he plays baseball, golf, and if he wants to play football, it's either quarterback or kicker. That's my choice.
Quarterback or kicker, all right.
Yeah, he's going to hang out. No, don't look at me like that, Bird. Hey, young man has a beautiful brain. He needs to keep it intact. You don't want to end up like Pops.
I'd say he thinks Dad's probably got a pretty cool job. I mean, it's take your dad to work day has got to be a little bit different when your dad's a FBS head football coach.
It is pretty cool now that his buddies are actually starting to figure out like what exactly it is that I do and why I'm never around. So it's pretty cool when they actually get to be on the sideline. Like he brought his baseball team, his traveling baseball team came to the game, and they're like, "So your dad's actually the coach." And I was like, yeah, we get to go out there and do Cookie Wednesday and all this stuff. And they were just mind blown. It was cool.
Well, we'll go back to coaching now then and talk a little bit about Middle Tennessee. This is a 1-win Blue Raider team that's getting back to playing at home. They have been in games, but they have struggled to find success this year. But like a lot of CUSA teams, they can throw the ball around the yard and move the ball up and down the field fairly effectively.
They have. Their wins and losses, I don't think, shows well with like how productive they really are. Even on both sides of the ball, they just haven't found a way to win. It's not like they haven't, like you said, moved the ball, created explosive plays. I mean, when you watch that Marshall game, number 9 ripped off 2 or 3 like 30-plus yard touchdown runs. So it's not like they're not being explosive on offense. I just think they're still trying to figure out how to put it together. I think it's going to be a great matchup for us on Wednesday night. Hoping they got a big crowd for us to bring the noise and get after it.
Their head coach, Derek Mason, has been a big-time coordinator, was the head coach at Vandy. Heck, I was looking in their game notes, I think 51 years of NFL experience, either at the coaching level or the player level, and, trying to build up that consistency there. He's been there for the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, he's a tremendous coach. Irregardless of his record, he's a good man. He's a good coach. He knows defensive football. He knows how to win. I have a lot of respect for Coach Mason. We've kind of crossed paths again along just being defensive coaches. You kind of meet people in the same circles. You get to have conversations, and he's a really good man.
How is the health of the team leading up to the travel day tomorrow and then the game on Wednesday?
Yeah, outside of Jacob, battling back from his injury, I think we look great. I think we did a nice job of the healthy balance of working them on the bye week to make sure we got some detail-oriented things by position, as well as, shorter practices, getting them fresh, getting them off their feet, keeping them excited about football. And it's been a really good week of prep, and everybody looks ready to go.
Defensively, Middle Tennessee has definitely surrendered a lot of yards and a lot of points to some teams that are fairly similar to what you do offensively. Anything that you're looking at on the defensive side of the football that Middle Tennessee does well that you have to kind of steer away from?
Yeah, I think that early in the game they're going to show you some man looks and some man pressures. I think that if you can handle those and effectively run the football, they'll get back into their split safety looks, and that opens up some of the more pass, run, play, action type of things. We got to be effective early and make them get out of what they want to do, because the games that you have seen them have success, they've gotten settled, they've gotten in a rhythm defensively, getting people behind the sticks. We have to avoid that at all costs.
If you have to go with the freshman at quarterback, is there going to be a different, I don't want to say package, because the playbook for Missouri State on the offensive side is extensive, but will it be kind of a philosophy change as far as what you do with Deuce versus Jacob, maybe more RPOs or something with the young runner?
Yeah, I think you'll certainly have some more RPOs and some more it's funny just talking back about who we've been with. I mean, Chris Klanakis, who's now the offensive line coach at Vanderbilt, he was with Colin Kaepernick out at Nevada when they developed the pistol run game, which transferred into Lamar when he was with us at Louisville. Mm-hmm. So we're going to take a lot of those different bits and pieces from those offenses and kind of, introduce it into Conference USA, if that's a good way to put it. But also, third down, you've got to be able to, operate. So Deuce will need to be able to drop back, make his reads, and go from there. The O-line that's sitting back there at that table will be a big part of that. So protection, boys.
Nobody sticks together better than Missouri State offensive line. Coach, thank you for the time as always. Thanks to Big E and to Bird for being on the show. That's going to do it. We're out of time for this one. We thank you for joining us on Inside the Den. Don't forget, tune in Wednesday night. 6:30 is the kickoff. The Bud Light Countdown to Kickoff show will begin at 6 o'clock on these Missouri State Radio Network affiliates in your area. Until then, I'm Corey Riggs saying good night. This has been Inside the Den with Coach Beard on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield.
Inside the Den with Coach Beard has been brought to you by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks are proud sponsors of the Missouri State Bears. Stop into your local Chevy dealer today. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And by Price Cutter, keeping it local since 1967. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Missouri State Sports Network.